over. I'm good at just taking over.
You do that.
Okay, hi everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. So there's a couple things. One is this is participatory. So if you don't participate, you're going to be bored. Which means if you write a negative evaluation, it is your damn fault. So participate. As you look around, is there anybody else that you're expecting to come in? Okay, so we're just going to get started. And people can jump in or not. Okay? Yes. And my name is Sarah Guck. I am a licensed clinical social worker. And I have done, as a social worker, I've done a whole slew of stuff, from individual work and family work, working with deaf families. I started a program on the Lower East Side of Manhattan for drug addicted and homeless men. I've worked with first responders. I've worked with, schools, assault survivors, some perpetrators. After I had children, that was really hard for me to do. So I've done a whole slew of stuff. I've also taught, which is really fun, so I'm very psyched to be up here. Because the universities we tend to come from different places, I want to run through introductions and just where you're from, okay? So if you just give name and what department you're from or what you do.
Social science.
Yep, and if your mouth is full, we'll skip you.
I'm Kathleen Childs. I'm the Executive Secretary of Student Health Services, the receptionist.
I'm Maura Gonsher. I'm the Director of Human Resources.
I'm Margaret Susie from Plainview, Texas.
All right.
Where do I work? You know, over there, testing.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to use that as an example of stress.
That's okay. We know where you work.
Yeah, there we go.
Center for Student Success. That's it.
Center for
And this
Student
stress,
Success.
you know why? Because I'm OCD, so this coloring is not
It's not good for you.
No.
What's your name?
Cindy Medrano. I'm the Program Manager at the Miller Library.
Great.
Vanessa Stroman. I work at the Center for Student Success as the Career Student Support Specialist.
Shelby Wilkie, I work for Outreach Programming.
Dominique for the Center of Student Success.
How about over here?
Also, I'm Sally Duckworth. I work for School Business, Senior Administrative Associate.
Sherry Frederick, Executive Administrative Assistant for the Foundation.
Amanda Moffett Lane, Alumni Director.
I'm sorry?
Alumni Director.
Alumni Director. Thank you.
Bailey Pavlos. I work for the Dean of College Arts and Sciences.
Excellent. Thank you. And the two here who are like, no, you, no, you.
That's J.R. Cochran. He's an adjunct. And I am Deborah, and I work in Human Resources. I'm the Employment and Benefits Specialist.
Okay. And mouthful. Did you spell mouthful?
JR.
J.R. What are you, an adjunct professor?
I teach the first aid class.
Okay, great. Thank you. Over here?
And I.
Oh, Karen Neal, Express Heart.
We skipped you.
Oh,
Merritt Reed.
I was wondering what that was
about.
about.
Behavioral Sciences.
Thank you.
right. I'm Jessica Knight, and I'm over at the School of Social Work.
I'm Rhonda McCall, and I'm the Assistant to the VP of Student Affairs.
Sarah Thrasher, Administrative Associate for Natural Sciences.
Excellent. Thank you. So please make sure that, if you have time to just meet somebody else today. I put coloring stuff out on the table. You're welcome to do that as we talk. Any professors here? Any teachers? What you will find is that some students have to do things in order to listen. And what we tend to do is put that away or don't do that. And actually some people listen better as they have something to do. Okay. Because I'm a social worker and a therapist, I'm going to tell you that this has to be a safe space. So I'm going to ask not to, what was said in here you can speak about generally. Don't name anybody, oh, so-and-so said. And this is so important in discussions, suspend all judgment of yourself and each other. Okay? Can everybody give me a nod? Okay? That's a contract. Let me see nods. Okay, excellent. Okay, so what is stress? We're going to start with the basics, right? Did you know I was going to do this? What is stress? Right? What is stress? Let's do this quick.
Elevated blood pressure.
Yes. Okay.
Life.
Yes. Does anybody ever not have stress? You should have some stress, right? Why should you have a little bit of stress? Yes, but who said to keep you alive? Because if the saber-toothed tiger is coming at you, you need to go into fight and flight. So this goes from way back. So we always carry a little bit of stress.
Can I just shoot in the mom look?
What was that?
Can I shoot in the mom look?
Yes, exactly, exactly. That saber-toothed tiger would stuff in his tracks with the mom look. Kathleen's mom looks pretty significant. So it's either physical or emotional strain. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why would it be physical strain?
Because cortisol that we dump into our systems.
Okay, and emotional strain. So what we're going to talk about today is mostly the emotional piece, okay, and some things to do with it. So do people know? I mean, is that enough about stress? We know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you know when you're stressed?
Partly
Not in the back of my neck.
A knot in the back of your neck. Okay. So some of the physical symptoms.
Red face.
Okay, a knot. Red face. What else did somebody say?
Stomachache?
Stomach ache.
That's my class.
Fatigue.
What else?
Fatigue.
Fatigue.
Tension, headache.
How do you know? So how do you know that you're tense? What does it feel like in your body?
Your shoulders.
Do you see what you're doing? Do you see?
Yeah.
Do it again. What is that? So what does it feel like in your body? Tight?
Tight.
Okay. So tight muscles?
Not happy.
Okay.
Irritable.
Okay. Not happy. How would I know that you're not happy?
Impatient.
How would I know you're not happy? Who said not happy?
The scowl on my face, maybe?
A scowl. Nice.
You have a temper.
Okay.
I cannot play poker.
So your temper increases?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So maybe a little bit short-fused? Like if somebody says something that might not normally get you, but all of a sudden you're like hooked right in there? What anybody, when they're stressed, just kind of turn inward and not react to things?
Shut down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What else? How else do you know that you're tense? Crying. One of my personal favorites. I am a crier. Right? We've been married. My husband and I have been married for like 6 months or something. I started crying about something. I was like, Tony, I guess I'm a crier. He's like, no kidding. You know? So I cry when I'm angry. I cry when I'm frustrated. I cry when I'm overwhelmed. So sometimes. So any other criers here? Okay. You want my suggestion on a crier? This is what I do. When I go into a meeting and I know that I'm going to be upset, I just say, so I'm a crier. I will have tears come up because they represent an emotion. Please ignore them, and we'll keep going. And then when they come up, I grab a tissue. Nobody's like freaked out. So I just like present it. It's like, this is part of how I express emotions. And so far, nobody's like, called anybody and hauled me away. So what else? What are the other feelings in your body when you're stressed? Anything else?
Your finger comes up.
Your what? Your middle finger comes up. I love it. Okay.
It's kind of like Tourette's.
What was that?
Kind of like Tourette's.
Tourette's, yes. Okay, we're gonna put that in quotes, but yes. Yeah, I was just with a guy who, I'm ordained as a priest. That just happened very recently, happened mid-May. So, and there's a gentleman who does not like the bishop. And the bishop was coming, of course, actually 2 bishops, like it's a big deal. The ordination's a big deal. And he's recently had a TBI, and so he repeats information over and over again, and he doesn't like the bishop. So I was like, okay, you can't come, because you're gonna call the bishop an asshole over and over and over. Like, you can't be at my ordination, you know? So that sort of Tourette-y thing. Anything else that you feel in your body?
Headaches.
I usually do it when I'm sleeping and my husband can hear it, but like I grind my teeth.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Anybody else teeth grinders? Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one. I think that maybe those mouth guards should be like preventative care. Okay, so part of this, how do you act? Right, we've hit on a couple of them. Some of this is what you feel in your body. How do you act when you're stressed?
It's hard to pay attention.
Hmm?
It's hard to pay attention.
It's hard to pay attention. So you're a little like flighty.
Yes.
If I was a fly on the wall, what would I see if you were stressed?
You don't wanna know.
I do want to know. That's the thing. What are the actions? What do you do when you're stressed?
Tears or like tapping my foot.
Okay. So foot tapping. What do you do when you're stressed?
I move quicker.
Okay. So rapid movement.
Yeah, and I can't concentrate.
So if I was a fly on the wall, what would I see so that I would know you're not concentrating? What would be the action? Nail biting.
Maybe hunched into myself,
What was that?
shut down physically.
So physically you would be like hunched over. Okay.
Vocal difference,
Oh, what about that?
maybe getting either louder or quieter depending on your personality.
Okay.
I start dropping everything. I fidget a lot.
Okay. So
It makes me more stressed.
so it makes you what?
More stressed. Like
Everything-
I start bumping into stuff and
Uh-huh.
dropping things. and
So,
don't really get anything done.
Can we gently say that you're get uncoordinated? Okay. So uncoordinated. So Kathleen,
Yes.
you were talking about that you said something about how you feel, and I was saying, what would I? Oh, concentration.
Yeah. It's hard to concentrate.
What would I see? Does anybody else have that issue? It's hard to concentrate. Okay. If I were a fly on the wall, what would I see so I know that you're having trouble concentrating?
Not being able to stay on task,
Okay.
doing a lot of things wrong.
Okay.
Papers everywhere.
Slamming things around, maybe papers and books or whatever,
Okay.
Sigh.
Sighing.
something.
Now, yeah, does anybody talk to their computer?
Oh.
Yeah, not a gentle conversation perhaps.
Yeah.
Does anybody have arguments with somebody in their head?
Oh, yes.
Right, like they're not in the room? Does anybody do that? Okay, so when I'm stressed, like my sweet dear poor husband, you know, if I'm not crying, I spent all day having an argument with him in my head. And he comes home and I am pissed because he's been a jerk all day. Right? And then he walks in and I'm like, rah, 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 rah. It's like, because it was all in my head. So one of the things that I do when I'm stressed is I have conversations in my head,
Yes.
which are not helpful because the other person's not involved. Right?
Rub my forehead like this,
Oh, you rub your forehead.
Yeah.
or roll my shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Forehead. Okay.
Sarah,
So,
I do something. Yeah,
I'm sorry?
I do something completely opposite.
Okay.
I actually do more work, get the stress over with, and then when the stress is done, I get sick.
Oh, nice. Okay. So ultimately, so in the end, stress leads you to illness. Okay. Okay, so these are great. Right? These are actions, these are things that we do when we're stressed. That's what happens in our body. What do you do to handle stress? What was that? Yoga.
Walk.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Actually, color and blow bubbles.
Color, nice. Okay. So some ideas about what to do. Okay, so I heard color. What else?
Walk.
Bubbles walk.
Run.
Drink.
Amen, sister. Amen, sister. Once in a while, it's medicinal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What else?
Talk.
Talk it out with somebody? Oh, you said yoga?
Tennis.
Tennis? Okay. What else?
Read.
Read.
Pray.
Pray. Okay. What else do you do when you're stressed?
Clean.
Clean. Oh man, that would be nice. Sadly, I don't clean. I know, right? Come to my kitchen when you're stressed. Sadly, I am not a cleaner like when I get stressed. I may kvetch with that because it needs to be cleaned,
Right.
but I don't actually take the step to clean it.
Meditate.
Meditate, okay?
Go for a drive.
Okay.
Preferably with a glass of wine.
Yeah, so let's,
Listen to music.
this is really, really great. This is really great. Okay, and I really appreciate these are really good ideas. And I'm also going to challenge you, and this is where that non-judgmental thing of yourself and others comes in. What else do you do when you're stressed? Ice cream.
Cake.
Cake.
I love cake.
Yeah, let's
Any-
put junk food in general.
Okay. Anybody smoke when they're stressed?
Yeah.
And you can smoke any number of things, right?
Oh,
So-
that day.
And I sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Now is that, okay, so sleep.
I know it's escapism, but there it is.
Yeah. Okay, so what else?
Movies.
Watch movies? Okay.
Yeah, that's good for a distraction.
Anybody do something that might put them at risk? Like, I like to go for drives. That helps me. But I might want to go for a drive at 2 a.m. to like the river. Right? Not so safe. Right? So, so what should I say? I like to run away. I like to run away. I'm gonna pack a little bag. When I was a kid, you guys have runaway bags when you're a kid? Right? You had your little bag with like your cup and your like whatever you thought you would need. A toy, maybe like a pocket knife if you were really serious.
You're really serious.
You know? Okay, what else do you do when you're stressed?
I work harder.
You what?
I work harder.
You work harder. You're looking like
I want
that's
to get it done.
okay.
I want to get it done.
In a calm way, or does it get like frantic?
No, it's not. It's orderly. Just,
Okay.
Just so focused, and then, like Deborah said, then you just kind of crash.
Okay. So there's a couple of other things that you can do when you're really stressed. Like you can cut. Anybody know anything about cutting?
You mean your body?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So cutting is, sadly, it's very popular. And it's a way to relieve stress. It's what people do when they're stressed. And they might use razor blades, pens, a piece of glass. It could be any number of things. The cuts are not a suicide attempt. Okay, they're not a suicide attempt. They're a way to relieve tension. Usually people cut where you can't see it, so arms, legs. And people talk about like seeing the blood is a real release. It makes them feel better. What about binging and purging? Right? Why would that be what would that be something people go to when they're stressed?
It has a physiological aspect to it. I'm not sure, but I think it's something that the relief.
Control. It provides control, or you think you're in control. There's a physical release. Right? So there's a lot of stuff that we could do when we're stressed. What else that's maybe not so healthy? Drinking. Yeah, so alcohol.
Or harder other drugs.
Yeah. number one abused drug in Grant County is? Prescription drugs. Prescription drugs. So if you had kids, be aware that if you have stuff in your cabinet, your kid might go through it, or your kid's friends might go through it. So be really, really careful. Anything else to do when you're really stressed?
Get your nails done.
Get your nails done. Why?
Some self-care.
What is it about getting your nails done? Do you know?
Something for yourself, like confidence.
And somebody's being really nice to you, making you feel good.
So they're being gentle. I mean, you're getting physical contact.
And you're talking.
You're talking, okay, and it's like in a kind of a chatty way sometimes. So it's a little bit lighter conversation. Massage.
Sometimes you can lash out at others.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right, you could kick the dog. Right, we hate these ideas, but when you're that stressed, you can go to that place.
Dance.
Dance. Okay. Okay. If you can't afford a full-blown massage, how about a pedicure? Anybody have a pedicure where they like massage your feet and your calves and stuff? Okay. So of these, all of them are acceptable. Okay, do you know what I mean by that? All of them are normal. All of them are acceptable. Of them, which ones might not be so fantastic?
Cutting, purging, alcohol, drugs.
Cutting, purging, alcohol,
Don't be kicking the dog.
drugs. Don't kick the dog.
Dog.
Don't lash out.
Don't lash out.
Don't drive.
Don't drive.
If you're real upset.
Okay, don't drive when you're really upset. Where do I have? I put run away. Did I put drive?
The middle
Oh,
road.
yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Don't run away.
Don't run away.
I mean,
Oh, shucks.
What?
My favorite.
My bag is packed.
If you go to the beach, it might be.
Yeah, I think I think you're right. I think there's a place. What else? Not so good.
The drinking, depending on what you're drinking up there, but
Or how much.
oh, smoking's not great ever.
And don't work harder if it's gonna affect you in a bad way.
If you got an excessive of any of those
Really hard to do, not like that.
Ta-da!
What'd she say?
Any excessive anything.
Oh, very good.
Anything in excess.
You bet.
Is having a drink when you come home a terrible thing?
No.
Is having 2 drinks because it was a bad day okay?
Yeah.
Borderline.
You know, maybe it is for me.
Have a drink or two.
Right, have a drink or 2. Is having a drink when I come home rather than make my children dinner okay?
No.
Right, so it's that, you know, is having a drink and saying, Mama needs a little time out here, and then I'll make dinner, is that okay?
Yes.
Right? It really is up to where your boundaries are. But it's anything in excess. Sleep, one of my personal favorites, is fine. It's a good thing. If you're in bed 15 hours a day, then it's not so much. So any of these things to excess. Okay, any questions? Does that make sense so far? Okay. Okay, so what I want to do right now, I'm going to ask you, finish up your lunch and stuff, because I'm going to be handing these out. We're just going to do an exercise. Has anybody ever done this exercise? If you don't recognize this, you haven't done it. Okay. So you're going to need a space in front of you that's clear. You can go back to the house, I promise.
Oh, that was great.
All right. Am I missing anybody? Is anybody left that I didn't get? Do you want to try this? Sure. Okay. Okay. So you need to have space in front of you. And I'm going to sit for a moment to demonstrate this, so people can see me. All you have to do is put your elbow on the table, hands straight up and down, and then completely relax your hand. Completely relaxed. So you're not tipping and you're not back. Your lower arm is straight up and down. Hand is completely relaxed. Take your string and put your string and washer in your hand, and then completely relax again. So you want the string, you want the washer down pretty low, but not hitting the table. Okay? Completely relax your hand and then place your washer. Does that make sense for folks? So you're completely relaxed and your washer is not hitting the table. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to ask people to just this is purely about focus. Okay? I want you to look at the washer and tell it what to do. Imagine it, I'll start you off. Imagine it going in circles. Okay? Just look at the washer, completely relaxed hand, and just picture it. Imagine it going in circles.
That's creepy.
Picture it really clearly in your mind. It's going in circles. Okay, so you're looking at that washer and you're imagining it going in circles. Completely relaxed hand. If you've got it going in circles, I see some people definitely do, tell it to go, picture it, imagine it, clear as day, going in the opposite direction. Okay, imagine it. Imagine it going in big circles. Or imagine it going in very small circles. It's not. So, arm on the table, arms straight up and down. Totally, completely relaxed hand. So I'm actually take this one. Completely relaxed hand. Now put the string in your hand so it's just completely relaxed. And I want you to look at it and make it go in a circle. And then look at it and tell it, picture it. Like picture in your mind it going in the other way. Try back and forth, to and fro. Try a figure eight.
It's ignoring me.
So I want you to picture in your mind. It's 1, 2. Just picture in your mind. Okay. Let me change my words. Don't talk to it, picture it. Try going back and forth. Figure eight.
Yeah, figure eight was a hard one. I can't picture the figure eight.
Okay, so that's big. You have to be able to picture what you're telling it to do. Okay, everybody ready to stop for a second? Did anybody get theirs going? Yeah, let me see a show of hands. If anybody got theirs going. Okay. Why? Why? And then we're going to come back. We're going to come back to if you didn't, I promise. Because there's no right and wrong in here. Why did that happen? Right? All you're doing is holding a washer and a string, and you're picturing it going in a circle, and it goes in a circle.
Just a brain until you're.
But you're completely relaxed.
But still you're sending a signal to your hand.
But you're totally relaxed.
You can be totally.
I was looking all over the place. I did not see anybody's hands move. Why is this working?
cosmic force.
It's your energy, it's your chi, okay, cosmic force.
Like I focused on stopping mine, because mine, like as soon as I started it, I was like, oh, it's gonna go in circles, and ooh, there it went.
Uh-huh.
So when you said think picture going in a circle, I was like, no, mine already did that. That's not fair.
Uh-huh.
So I focused on telling my picturing it stopping.
And did it? Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so why you all were very, very close. Why is this working? Our mind is so strong that we can make things happen that we believe, that we picture are going to happen, even when we don't know it. So your hand, in fact, was moving a tiny, tiny bit. It was imperceptible. I mean, I was walking around watching hands. Now you, my dear. Yours didn't move. Yours didn't move, right? So what were you saying? What were you thinking?
I was like trying to picture in my mind, you know, first just going in circles, but then maybe I wasn't doing that hard enough. I wasn't thinking hard enough.
Well, you got annoyed with it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And what were you saying? What were you thinking?
It's not doing what I'm telling it to.
This is not doing what I'm telling it to do. So what's it going to do? Not do what you're telling it to do. Exactly. So if you were telling it, go in circles, but don't, it's not good.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
So this is how strong our mind-body connection is. Okay? I do this with athletes, and it's really incredible. I mean, I'll do this with a swim team and have them do 50, and then have them, timed, and then come back, and we do such an intense visualization. Every stroke, coming into the wall, the flip turn, the kickoff, and they always take time off their 50. It's incredible. So this is that strong body-mind connection. So how might you use this? How might you use this?
What if you can't see it though? Like I couldn't picture like the figure 8, because I was picturing the washer and trying to do the 8, and every time it would just do the circle, I would get unfocused.
Okay. So what happened?
Unfocused.
You got unfocused. So when it wasn't doing what you wanted it to do, you were like, oh, and you got unfocused, right? It's probably unfocused is the gentle word.
Start over again.
And what was the emotion behind it?
Just wanted it to an 8.
What was the thought?
It was just like, okay, we'll start over again. I felt like finding Dory,
Were you that calm? Like, okay, I'm just gonna start all over again?
Yeah.
Really? Bless your heart. Because when I do that and it doesn't work, I go, it's not working. Right? And then it's not gonna work.
I guess there was not much pressure on it.
Okay. You know that I'm pretty gentle. So do you see that connection? That body-mind connection? When we are under stress, there's a bunch of physical stuff that happens. All these internal organs, your heart starts pounding, blood goes to your gut, your throat might get tightened up, all of this internal stuff is happening. And yet, our body is so strong that we can image our body doing something differently. Has anybody's heart ever raced? Right? The fact is, if you take your pulse, it's usually not racing. It feels like it's going 150 beats per minute. It's probably not. One of my favoriteest new toys, is my Fitbit. Do you guys know about these? It shows my heart rate. So when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a heart attack, I can look and be like, I'm really not. And I'm like talk myself down, and I get to watch the beats per minute go down. Because my mind is telling my body, slow down, okay? Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna be handing out these dots. And I want you just to put them, or I'll place them if it's okay with you, if you're okay with being touched, right in that spot. Okay, just kind of between them. All right, anybody want to help me do this? All right, thank you. Okay, so right there. Thank you. If anybody's not okay with being touched, just let me know and I'll give it to you. And make sure that it's on kind of tight.
Yes.
Whichever one you prefer.
How big you call it?
You can keep calling until we sort of start this exercise.
Mine's green.
Mine too.
Yeah, okay.
Just checking. I love it, my office is never cold, so I'm like, oh, it's cold in here, or is it blue?
Maybe we're
I hate them.
Oh, no, very tainted.
Try one? Okay. All right, does everybody have one? All right. So what we know, right, is that when you're stressed, anybody ever shiver when they're stressed? Yeah. And that's because all of that warm, all that blood is going into the center of your body, right, with all those physiological responses. Kathleen, did you get a dot?
No.
Oh, you need a dot. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is once again, kind of clear a space in front of you and get comfortable. Did y'all know we were going to eventually do this meditation thing? Did everybody know that?
No.
Okay, good. Some people would like meditation. So all I want you to do is clear space in front of you, get comfortable, feet on the floor. Hands on your thigh, or it can be like this, but not touching the dot. Okay? So I'm gonna turn these lights down for a minute. So just take a deep breath for a second. Make sure that you're comfortable. Let's see. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So deep breath, and remember how you breathe. You breathe into your belly, right? Americans, we tend to breathe into our shoulders. So breathe way down deep so that your belly actually moves. Okay? So we're going to count 5 counts in and 5 counts out. So breathe in, fill your belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Just keep taking some breaths on your own. Make sure that those deep, nice deep breaths. So this is just imagining, okay? I want you to picture a warm, cozy place. Okay, it could be on the beach. It could be in your bed. It could be snuggling up to somebody. Wherever your warm, cozy place is. And I want you to see it, like really see it in your head. Okay, imagine it deeply. Keep breathing. So you can sink into that warm feeling, that cozy feeling. And then listen. Listen to where you are. Listen to that safe, warm spot. This is all your time. There is nothing else you have to do. This is time for you. So just enjoy being in that safe, warm, cozy spot. Keep breathing nice, deep breaths. Okay, listen to where you are. Now I want you to imagine the sensations, right? The warm sun, but it's it's always cool enough that it's comfortable. The sensation on your body, where you are. This is only your time. This is completely for you. So you're feeling the warmth. You're hearing where you are. You see it in your mind's eye. So stay there for a few minutes. Just breathe. If there's a taste that you want to add in, throw in the taste. If there's a smell, you want to add the smell. Really, really sink into that warm, cozy spot. And just breathe there for a few minutes. Now that you're warm and cozy, I want you to picture your feet being nice and warm. I want you to picture like warmth, sunshine, golden light, whatever your image is of that warmth reaching down to your feet. It's relaxing, it's safe, it feels good. It's all your time. Imagine then that warmth is coming up your legs. Just filling up your legs. Filling up your hips, your belly. From your belly, that warmth, that glow, that sunshine, that energy is moving up your torso and out your arms, all the way down to your hands. So now feel your hands warm, full of that glow, full of that warmth. You can feel it in your palm. Moving down your thumb, your pointer finger. That warmth is moving down your middle finger, your ring finger, your pinky. You might feel some tingling. It's all that warmth, all that energy. Across the back of your hand, your whole hand is warm. And once you're feeling that warmth in your hands, in your feet, in your torso, just stay there and enjoy it. It's completely your time, completely your moment. Enjoy that space. Keep feeling those warm hands. They might even be getting so warm that you're kind of starting to sweat a little bit. All the way down your fingers, your palms, the back of your hands, nice and warm. Keep those deep breaths going. Stay with your warmth, your warm hands. just created, slowly come back to this room whenever you're ready. You might want to start with wiggling your hands or your feet. I'm going to turn the lights on. Okay. Is everybody kind of back? Okay, look at your dots. Has anybody just changed colors? Anybody still, they started as pure black. Anybody change color? Yeah? Can I show of hands if they changed? Okay. Okay, excellent. Did any of your colors change over here? Yeah?
I was already frozen from the air in the office, so.
It is cold in here. I feel like I had to work that really, really hard because it's cold in here. What's happening? Does anybody know what's happening with these? This is basically like a mood ring. Remember mood rings? Mm-hmm. Right? So it's black when it's cold. This room is really cold. So anybody who changed, whose color changed, how did you do that? You believed you were warm. Magic. Anybody else's dot really warm up? You said you
green.
Yours were green.
It was green and then blue and now it's going green.
When you opened your eyes, it was blue. And what color is it now?
Blue. Going back to green.
Going back to green. Okay, so they got theirs all the way to blue. Anybody else? Blue. Blue. Anybody else? Oh, right. Okay.
Hers started out blue before she even went to sleep.
Before she ever went to sleep. Did it change colors? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that.
As soon as his touched him, it was like,
Yeah, but imagine then sitting absolutely still in an air-conditioned room. It would probably won't stay that way, but we don't know. But we don't know. So what happened? Right, again, what's the point of this? Mind, mind, body, mind, body, mind, body. They are so intertwined that when you think something hard enough, when you image it, when you're there, when you let yourself see it, feel it, smell it, taste it, you can change the way your body's working because your mind is that strong. Okay? Any way you can think about how you could use this if you're feeling stressed?
Take 5 and do that.
Take 5 and do that? Mm-hmm.
Just go to your safe spot.
Your cozy spot? Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Isn't something like this similar? Yeah. The point was you're supposed to lay down, but you start at your toes and you feel a blue beam
Yeah.
go over you and it loosens everything up to her.
There's a lot of ways to do visualization. Sometimes it is with that sports thing like we were talking about, with the washer. Sometimes it's at the end of yoga. Has anybody ever done yoga? Okay. There's a great t-shirt that says, I'm just here for the Shavasana, which is like the end of the yoga where you just get to lie there. And you leave yoga and things are so good. And then what happens is you go back to your office and it's like whoosh. But you can get that feeling back any time. Anytime you want, you get to pull that feeling back to you. Okay, you get to lower your heart rate, lower your blood pressure. You get to warm up, you get to cool off. This is how strong your mind is. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So there's, yeah, I don't know if I want to do any more. Are y'all have enough information? Okay. Okay, so the biodots, feel free to take these home, play with them today. I have more down in my office if you ever want to get another one and play with it. I have some handouts here. Take them if they sound good to you. Just a stress fact sheet. I have to say one of my personal favorites. Everything is awful and I'm not okay. Questions to ask before giving up. That is really a good one. It's like a this is what you should do when you're just feeling that bad. So it's like a checklist. Relaxation techniques. We did not do a lot of relaxation in terms of like that breathing. So there's a form here about kind of just a real basic breathing exercises. And also, if you really need to be convinced that your body reacts to stress, this will put you right over the edge, okay? So I have those here. The other thing I'm gonna leave out, anybody ever done aromatherapy? Yeah? So the other thing I'm gonna leave out here are some scents. These are not giveaways. These go in my drawer, because you'll see me huffing, right? Like, like, oh my gosh, it's coming in. You know, so, and the idea of aromatherapy is that it changes your brain, and so you feel differently. If I did this right, I would have coffee grounds that you sniff in between. So you might sniff one, and then you sniff coffee grounds to sort of cleanse your palate, and then you might try another one. So try these as well. Handouts are over here. Stay in color. You have another hour. Stay in color. Okay?
And
Wait, sorry.
before everyone goes, I do have some evaluations that we do appreciate your feedback.
Yes, please.
So we do want to not just, we don't want to end this after the summer. You know, we want to continue to offer these things throughout the year, so your feedback.
And I think I'm doing something like this again later, so it would be really good to have ideas.
Sarah,
Yeah.
does placebo work in this same way? When it's some, a doctor was to tell me, take this pill and your headache will probably go away in about an hour, and it gives me a pill, and then it goes away.
And so, and there's nothing wrong with placebo effect. It's fantastic. It's incredibly powerful. I mean, a lot of medications, we don't really know how or if they work. It might be the placebo effect, and that's fine. That's totally fine.
Well, Sarah, I want to thank you on behalf of the committee for being more than willing to do this with us, and because it was something that was very important to the staff with stress management. So hopefully everyone will take some handouts, share them with others in your offices as well. And we do have another stress management on Friday at 11:30, the same place with Tara Dunlap. Be a little bit of a different approach, but you know, like she was saying, we each have different reactions when we're stressed. My ears get hot, and I immediately know. But you know how we can bring ourselves back. But some different approaches that may work differently for each of you. So please come on Friday as well.
Yes. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sarah.